did. He was, I thought that was him. I couldn't quite remember the name, but yeah, Barrett Kroeger top aided with Delver, I believe, yesterday, right?
Yes.
And doesn't even have to re-sleeve his Delvers. Just slides him into his Legacy deck. Rug Delver, and on the other side, Gabriel Willmon. TPS. So
Barrett was the unfortunate victim of Preston Stone in the first round of the top 8. He was the #1 seed at the end of the Swiss yesterday. For those of you who are just joining us, we are about to begin the 4th round, and in fact, the 5th match of Magic under the camera today. Actually, pardon me, in this tournament.
Yes.
If we count today, then we'd have to say the 7th round of Magic.
True. We're bringing you guys live coverage of the Legacy Open here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Joey Pasco, joined in the booth by Adrian Sullivan.
Hello.
These guys, is this a mulligan from Barrett, I believe, or it's certainly what it appears to be. So I asked you what deck you would play if you would play today.
Yeah. If I were to play, I'd be playing Baron again. That's my bug control deck that has a recursion element.
You've been playing that one for a while.
Oh, I mean, you know what? That's actually what I love. I love with Legacy. If you have a deck that's at all rational, you can play it for 12 years.
Yeah.
You know,
slight modifications.
Yeah. It's funny because I remember Cedric Phillips was at an event where I was PTQing with it in an extended version of the deck, and somebody who didn't know me was like, "Oh, what is your crappy deck?" And Cedric's like, "Crappy deck? Hey, Adrian, how long have you been playing that deck?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I qualified for the Pro Tour with it twice, and I think I've been playing it 10 years, 11
Wow.
years." And these days now, I'm at the 15-year mark with that deck. Like. It's a good deck, and the thing about it is, let's say you're Gabriel here, right? You are very likely, unless something banhammers your deck, to be able to get so good at your own deck that you don't have to do much besides tweak it for a metagame. So you can just become a perfect Storm player. You can just be, if that's what you are, a Landstill player. Heaven help you if you're a Landstill player, though.
Barrett Kroeger going to 5 cards here. Gabriel on the play and kept on 7. So, yeah, I do like that. I like that about Legacy, where if you feel like you know the kind of decks that you like to play, you can sort of hone in on one particular deck or one kind of particular strategy, get all those cards, say, you know, I like for instance, for myself, I'm like, I want to play Jason Brainstorm. What do? All right, get the Jaces. I've had the Jaces. Yeah. Get the Brainstorms. Get the Forces of Wills. Right. Get all the blue duels, because I know I want to be playing blue. Do I want to play blue-white? Do I want to play blue-black? You know what I mean? Maybe there's a question. There's a decision. I did mention yesterday I started playing bug control, so it was the blue-black duels. It was Underground Seas and
I mean, I guess I feel like as long as your deck is rational, you can play it. Now, that does not mean that your deck is going to be rational because you want to play it. I actually would not want to be playing Burn in this format, and there have been formats I've been very highly approving of Burn. Okay, Gabriel starts out, fetches
Bloodstained Mire.
The one of Bloodstained Mire. His deck here is very discard heavy. Inquisition, Duress, all in the main deck, so that's quite a few discards. Often you see 4 cards discard. He's got 6. Pardon me, he's got 7.
Finds a swamp.
Yeah, the element of the rational deck reminds me of the first time that this was really noticeable, which was Invasion Block Constructed, where you could basically play anything as long as it was rational. Inquisition of Kozilek here from Gabriel.
Turn 1, and he's going to find out what the deal is on the other side of the table. So, Daze, Bolt, Scavenging Ooze, and a Misty Rainforest. Those are the 5 Barrett kept. Not an awful keep.
Not a great keep either.
No, but I mean, when you're on 5, it's I think you start to accept average hands. he's got 1 land and 4 spells, 3 of the 4 spells castable immediately, so. So the Daze goes away from the Inquisition of Kozilek. Barrett plays Misty Rainforest, and he's going to fetch. Frantically searching for whatever he's got in mind there. I believe it's probably... he only grabbed the top half of his deck. Assume he's going... Oh, he's going for a Trop. Okay. Thought he was going to get a Volcanic Island so that Bolt would be castable. Goes with a Tropical Island. So now we know Barrett's hand -1 card. We're not sure what he drew for the turn. He has Daze, Bolt, Scavenging Ooze, and what is the 4th card? It is a Ponder, right off the top for Barrett. Gabriel appears to be allowing that to resolve here without any response. Ponder good? Ponder's good. All right, so let's see. What can we get? I believe that might be Stifle Mana Leak. There's at least 1 Stifle in there. Barrett, I saw him playing earlier versus a Goblins player. And definitely running the Stifles, the Judge promo Stifles, I believe. He's got all 4 copies of Stifle in his deck, so. Still trying to decide whether or not he wants to keep this Ponder, decides he wants to shuffle it away. Okay, well, it was Force of Will. Okay, yeah. Why did I think it was Mana Leak? I think because my brain was still in Standard for a second. It's not playing Mana Leak. I just saw orange card, orange artwork, and thought, oh, Mana Leak. No, that was Force of Will. Yeah, much more likely to be seen in Legacy. So Force of Will, Stifle, Stifle. Hands his deck over to Gabriel to shuffle, and let's see what he gets. Fresh off the top is something we couldn't quite see, but we may see it in a sec. It was Tarmogoyf. Okay, so Ponder, shuffles and finds him a Tarmogoyf, and passes back to Gabriel.
I just got a little whisper from Austin Yost that he has already defeated his opponent for this round.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Take that, Mud. I'm burn deck.
Yeah, I guess he's pretty happy about that, considering how his last round went.
And Gabriel with another land.
He's going to fetch. So far in this match, we're here in game 1, Gabriel has played...
the 2 ugliest lands possible.
Well, that too, yeah. He goes Bloodstained Mire, fetches a Swamp, plays Inquisition of Kozilek, takes a Daze, passes to Barrett, who... top decks a Ponder, plays a Misty Rainforest, fetches a Tropical Island, casts Ponder, shuffles with Ponder, top decks Tarmogoyf, passes back to Gabriel, who plays a fetch land, and that is all that has happened so far in this game.
I want to ask players like Gabriel, and if you are a player like Gabriel out there, why would you play those lands?
I think
if you are one of the people out there, let us know at SCG Live. Why would you play those lands if you actually are the kind of player who does?
Because they bother people is the response that I've noticed. People say, I want to play white bordered cards, white bordered ugly cards because they bother people.
But it's just the white and that ugliness.
Well, I think part of it, if those were black bordered, they'd look fine.
They are actually fine as black border cards, but it's like the actual everything about it, the card frame, the card stock. If you pull that card out of the sleeve, you'll see that lane has a different style of card stock to it. It's like a grosser kind of paper. I mean, it's weird. It's like an entirely different experience playing with those lands.
That is strange. I don't think I've noticed that. Or if I have, I just dismissed it and not thought about it. So Brainstorm from Gabriel resolves.
One thing, talking with Bob Maher, he's like, yeah, whenever they let people play unsleeved, I'm like, that's craziness. You can tell the cards from the back.
Yeah, I haven't seen people playing unsleeved in a long time. So a Brainstorm from Barrett here. Main phase Brainstorm, I believe.
What do we got? Again, the Brainstorm. This goes back to that skills testing issue. Every Brainstorm is an opportunity to lose the game.
I agree. Didn't even see him put cards back. I mean, I'm sure he did, I guess, but I just moved so quickly I didn't quite see it. So passes back to Gabriel, and we're going to see what's in Barrett's hand yet again. Oh, that's another one. Tom Lapilli mentions white border cards being easily fetchable. That's another one I've heard.
See, again, I don't have a problem with the white border. It's that particular edition of land.
Okay. All right, so we see Spell Pierce, Daze, Force of Will, Ponder, Tarmogoyf. There's the Ponder and the Tarmogoyf. There's a Force of Will, not Mana Leak. There's Daze, and there's Spell Pierce. Several people now mentioning about the easily fetchable aspect of white border cards.
And Ponder from Gabriel. As anemic as Barrett's opener has been so far, Gabriel is taking his time to get things going. He knows he has to play around 1 days.
And Force of Will and a Spell Pierce.
Yep. Well, did he see the
He did. He just did the Taxian Probe.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was how we know about the Force of Will and the Spell Pierce, or at least the Spell Pierce.
He's got a lot to fight against there, and his hand or his deck is not one of the Orm's Chant style builds. It's the heavy discard builds. So he's actually got to push through in order to make that happen with his black spells.
All right. Sets up his Ponder, draws a card, passes the turn. No land drop from either player since Gabriel fetched that island a couple of turns ago. And we're going to see a Ponder from Barrett. 1, 2, 3. I believe it's Stifle, Goyf, and something else.
He's like, gosh.
Yeah, he's just not finding.
Just give me a land. I'm ready to fight
He may have
magic
boarded
here.
them out. That's sarcasm. just making sure.
Thank you, Raymond McEachern. Out there in the Twitterverse.
You should read that.
Raymond McEachern. Those lands are printed on old pizza boxes. Fact, as I have eaten pizza off of both.
So the Ponder finds Barrett a forest. And he's got to be at least happy about that.
I would be ecstatic if I were
Yeah.
getting that Ponder forest off the top.
Yeah.
Gabriel, third land here with a volcanic island. Ponder again.
Gabriel trying to make it so all of Barrett's land taxes are live. It's like every time Barrett plays a land, Gabriel plays one more.
One of the things about Gabriel's slow play here, he's under no pressure. There's no need for him to try to go off really, really quickly here. So going slow here is just fine.
Yeah,
now,
he's
Barrett,
kind of sculpting his game here.
Absolutely.
While he has the chance.
I mean, let's pretend that you've got a combo deck that can win on turn 2 or turn 3. This does not mean you are required to win on turn 2 or turn 3. Win on the right turn.
All right, Ponder resolved. Burning Wish from Gabriel, and he knows Barrett has ways to counter that.
An
as far
easy
as
days here?
Daze and or Force of Will, and we're going to see Daze. Gabriel says, "Yep, knew that was coming." So whatever.
I was just getting that out of your hand there.
It's funny. I've actually saw somebody else doing that earlier too, where it's just like, I'm just going to play Burning Wish, even though I don't really need to play Burning Wish, just as the test spell. You know, I know you have counter spells. May as well just let you counter this Burning Wish.
And Barrett starts out with a Nimble Mongoose, passes back to Gabriel, and Gabriel starts out with Dark Ritual. Now here's the showdown.
Yeah, we're going to see some action here. So, Nimble Mongoose does not appear to have Threshold, although there could be 6 cards, I think. So
now Barrett's control cards: 4 Stifle, 3 Force of Will, 4 Daze, 3 Spell Pierce. That's what he has in the main deck.
All right, so we've got 3 mana in the pool, 3 black. Another ritual, this of the Cabal variant. Cabal variety, I meant.
And I can't see the graveyard here to know whether or not there's threshold.
Yeah, we can't see Gabriel's graveyard.
But I'm going to be willing to bet that there is threshold. Another Cabal ritual.
So now 6 in the pool. And 10 in the pool now, huh? Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
up to 10. Another Cabal ritual. 14 in pool if this works.
4 plus. Oh, you're right. It was 9. Sorry, not 10. Jeez. Okay. Losing count
Or is
here.
it 12? My bad, my bad. Plus 4.
Yeah, we were adding.
Yep, Past in Flames. You better stop that one, Barrett.
Past in Flames here on the stack, and Barrett chooses to use Force of Will, removing Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce not so good when your opponent has 1,000,000 mana in their pool.
Yeah, or even just 12, or 8 even. And a Lion's Eye Diamond comes down from Gabriel. And he immediately cracks it.
The Lion's Eye Diamond's going to get red here, and he's going to cast Past in Flames again.
Yeah, flashback Past in Flames, and I don't think Barrett has any way around that. I think his hand may be Goyf Stifle, I think? Maybe not Stifle. No, Stifle was off of one of those ponders which he shuffled, I think. So, I know one of the cards in his hand says Goyf, or may actually be double Goyf.
He's got 2 red and 7 black in
Oh, no, it's
pool right
Goyf
now. And now we're seeing the beginning of the flashback. That was probably an Inquisition or maybe perhaps a Gitaxian Probe.
Yeah, if we can let the judge know to have these guys squeeze in a little bit, particularly Gabriel, because we can actually see all of Barrett's cards.
I'm guessing that's going to be a Ponder, most likely. Maybe a Brainstorm.
So, well, I'm gonna guess it's a Brainstorm. Yeah, he puts 2 back. That's a Brainstorm.
It could be a Ponder.
I mean,
He has no cards in hand, so.
That's a good point. I mean, it looked a lot like a Brainstorm to me, though. All right. So Gabriel indulging us by putting his
Thank you, Gabriel.
graveyard out. Still a little tough to see. I think we have a little.
And now we're going to see.
Looks like Barrett's just scooping them up here. I think that was just a.
Yeah, here's the reason Barrett would be scooping it up. We've got Ritual, and then the Burning Wish.
Yeah, the Burning Wish now has flashback.
Yep, cast the Burning Wish and then just win. And that win, wow. It's very interesting. He has the Tendrils in the board and Empty the Warrens in the board for potential wins. But I don't see, for example, besides the Tendrils, a lot of times you can see other paths here, but I do not see that right now. Grape Shot, I don't see a Grape Shot. So it's just Empty and Tendrils are his sideboard kills.
Yeah, one Tendrils, 2 Empty the Warrens.
Yep.
Take a look real quick.
To the sideboards for these players, Barrett.
Yeah, I was taking a look to see if I could find a Grape Shot. Maybe for some reason he had it in the main, but he does not.
Flusterstorm is in the sideboard.
Flusterstorm, a great answer to these storm decks.
Grafdigger's Cage.
Nice answer to those Pass in Flames situations.
Red Elemental Blast, Force of Will, and potentially Tormod's Crypt.
Yeah, 2 copies of Red Blast, 1 additional Force of Will. He plays 3 main, 1 board. And yeah, I could see all those coming in. The blasts, the extra force, the Flusterstorm, and you know, the cage and the crypt are potential potential cards you might want to bring in. So did we
Whoa.
we misunderstood something. I thought that was so Gabriel scooped.
Whoa, okay.
We just found that out.
Wow, so here's the only reason I can... Wow, okay. So we thought that there was red mana left in Gabriel's pool.
Yeah, we can't quite...
Nope. Gabriel used all of his red mana. See him shaking his head there? He's a little bit mad at himself. Yeah, he needed that red mana to be able to cast the Burning Wish from the yard. He did not do that. So the win that Gabriel had there instead goes to Barrett Kroeger.
Wow.
Legacy is an unforgiving format.
I actually saw it. It's interesting. I had forgotten about this, but I was walking by earlier and walking by a game, and I looked over and I saw on the table Pact of Negation and a what is it? The Laboratory Maniac on the table, and I'm like, oh, it's a Doomsday deck. And the guy with the Doomsday is shaking his head like Gabriel just was, and was like, I made my pile wrong. I scooped. And his opponent goes, game one, I played a Plains, and he just scooped. He made his Doomsday pile wrong apparently twice, and so he just lost 0-2 to himself. You know what I mean? Like his own mistakes. Doomsday, another deck that is notoriously difficult to play.
I mean, one of the things that's really awesome, after the Star City Games Madison, I had some friends over at my house, the Ivies, that's Greg and Brenna Ivy, they're Legacy fanatics, and we all did pretty poorly, so we decided to go back to my place and enjoy sitting on a porch. And Greg had with him just a 30 or 40 page document that was Doomsday piles. And while we sat there on the porch, he just kind of studied Doomsday piles.
I mean, if you really want to play that deck, I love the dedication. I think that's
right.
I
love that someone
deck.
wrote that.
Yeah, exactly. The dedication of
that.
writing that. Yeah. Stephen Menendian actually showed up to Columbus. At Origins actually showed up to Columbus with a Doomsday deck, and we saw that on camera. So
I think that the Menendian Doomsday deck, one of the things about it is it doesn't have very many piles, because Laboratory Maniac makes it much easier to not have to make as many wild things happen.
Yeah. So if those of you guys whose interest is piqued by the Doomsday deck, if you actually want to see that in action, go to the archives for SCG Columbus. It was at the end of May, right? That was when Origins was. End of May, beginning of June, I believe.
That sounds about right.
So go back and you can watch the archives. Look for Stephen Menendian's match. It was in the early-ish Swiss rounds of the Legacy Open, obviously. Menendian did win that match, I'm pretty sure. All right, so we got a keep on 7 from Gabriel and a mull to 6 here from Barrett. And is he keeping his 6? Is he keeping his 6? He's considering it. He's pondering it. He's brainstorming whether or not he wants to. He decides no.
That was the look of a man who was very disgusted with that hand.
Well, as much frustration as we saw from Barrett in game 1, I think Gabriel deserves to be a little more frustrated at this point.
You know, it's always an interesting question. Are you more mad at yourself for unlucky things, or are you more mad from unlucky things, or are you more mad at yourself for the mistakes you make?
It's a good question. I think
everyone's different, of course, but that says something about what you're about.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a quote I'd heard, and it was, I believe, one of those like sports quotes. I'm pretty sure it was a coach, probably Vince Lombardi or someone of that ilk, who said, there's no need to worry about things you can control because you can control them. And there's no need to worry about things you can't control because you can't control them. So, it's Gabriel could control his situation last game. He hopefully learns from it here. That's something he can control in the future. So
we start out with the same Singleton Bloodstained Mire.
This time he does not fetch and play Inquisition like he did last game. Barrett, on the other hand, can't control what he sees in his opener. He can only control whether or not he's going to keep it. Misty, fetch, Tropical Island from Barrett Kroeger. That is the same start for him as well. This time quite a different hand, I believe. There's a Red Blast, there's a Goyf, I believe another land. Can't quite see what that card is. That looks to me like Ranger of Eos, which is obviously not.
The card that looks whitish?
Yeah.
One of the things about the lighting in here, there are some weird glare things that have been happening.
Yeah,
so
it could be a Tormod's Crypt, could be like a Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe it's like an artifact, that's what I'm thinking. That's why it looks whitish. Well, we have a duress, and we're going to find out. Off a Swamp from Gabriel Willmon on turn 2. And hopefully we're going to find out. Or okay, so we are. Tarmogoyf. Sylvan Library. Yeah, that is a Tormod script, a Red Blast, and a Scalding Tarn. That is the new art Tormod script from M13. Oh, actually, it was an F&M promo, I believe, before it was the artwork for M13.
I like seeing that Sylvan. Though, I have to say, much like when I see red decks in Standard, not current Standard, but previous Standard, whenever I see a Sylvan in play, I almost always think to myself, oh, what are you doing? Come on. You can do more with that.
So, the Crypt goes away from the Duress.
Goodbye, Crypt.
And we have a cracked Bloodstained Mire from Gabriel. Speeding up a little bit from last game. I mean, we're actually 30 minutes almost into this match. Gabriel needs to win 2 games here in the next 22 minutes.
Well, the thing about it is both of these players, if they go to a game 3, are fully capable of winning in extra turns. Because even though it takes a while for Gabriel to potentially play out a turn, it's all one turn.
That's true. And we have a Brainstorm from Gabriel meets Red Blast from Barrett. Gabriel, I think, not expecting the Brainstorm to be count. Oh, wait. Did he not just Red Blast that Brainstorm? Huh? Oh, that would make sense. He can't Red Blast it without red mana.
Red mana is a very important trait that certain spells that have that red symbol in it require. I've never been a fan of formats of games where you don't have requirements that limit you like that, though. What do we got here? We got... Is that a land? Did he get a land? Yay. Oh, he had the land already. That's the Scalding Tarn from before.
Actually, his other Scalding Tarn was foil. That's a different Scalding Tarn.
Oh, really?
I'm almost positive the other one was foil.
Oh,
and that one...
Mistake, Barrett.
Unless we are looking directly down and not seeing that it's foil, it appears that is not foil. I thought it was.
Wow, and he holds the mana open to keep the Reb going. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not
I think that you have to put down a clock first, open yourself up to the possibility that you lose, so that you don't go for the long, long game. I mean, Gabriel would have won the long, long game before if he hadn't made a mistake with his mana.
I'm being told that is foil, and it just does not look foil from our angle.
That's funny.
I mean, that doesn't look foil to you, does it?
Okay. A bunch of nothing happening on both sides here. Barrett apparently content to wait until he gets this land that he's finally drawn. I think we're going to see him finally move.
And here we have a Tarmogoyf. Barrett Kroeger off of his second tropical island.
Back to Gabriel. Inquisition, what you got over there?
Barrett's like, you already know what I got. I showed it to you a couple turns ago. Gosh. I believe there's a Stifle there. Yep, we see a Stifle. We see a Red Blast. We see a Flusterstorm. We see a Daze. We see a Sylvan Library.
It's a good hand. Yeah,
Stifle, Red Blast, Flusterstorm, Daze, and Sylvan Library. All pretty fancy versions, too. Black bordered, I believe, maybe foreign black bordered Red Blast. Definitely foreign black bordered Sylvan Library.
I think it's Korean.
Yeah, I think it might be. And Judge promo Stifle.
Goodbye Flusterstorm?
No, it was Stifle.
Oh, Stifle. Wow.
Foil.
I guess Stifle stops the storm trigger.
Yeah.
And Barrett is allowed to untap. In.
How big is that Goyf? We're going to find out.
Come on, Barrett. I would have liked, if he's going to do what he did before, I would like to follow up with a Sylvan.
Yeah, get some more cards. That's a 4/5 Goyf. Gabriel plays a land, passes back. Barrett untaps the Goyf and immediately swings in. Gabriel now at 11. And Barrett passing back. So, not sure. I mean, I'd like to play the Sylvan too, but I guess he just wants to be prepared to stop any shenanigans. He wants to maybe get...
At this point, he should no longer play the Sylvan because he's got enough time has passed that he should just keep his guard up.
Yeah.
I mean, if Gabriel wasn't willing to go for it after that Inquisition before, when he was tapped down, you have a window there that narrowly closes. So, Thoughtseize. Oh boy.
Let's see what Barrett drew in the last couple turns.
Daze, Reb, Sylvan, Ponder.
Stifle, Flusterstorm. He's drawn 2 Stifles in the last few turns, in addition to a Ponder. Wow. Wow. I don't know that Gabriel's gonna win this match. It's just too much. Barrett has a clock, and he's got the cards to defend any sort of combo attempt from Gabriel.
What was knocked out?
Flusterstorm.
And we see a fetch. You want to stifle it? Huh, buddy?
That improves the clock here. Barrett can now swing. It's just a 1-turn clock if Gabriel doesn't go off here or somehow have an answer to Tarmogoyf.
And that's possible for Gabriel. Gabriel could Innocent Blood.
Finds an island. And he goes with a Burning Wish. Barrett, do you have something to say about that?
I think we're going to see an Innocent Blood.
I think you may be right.
He's got nothing left to stop it.
Mana up to pay for days.
Amusingly, a Stifle from Barrett would have protected him from this Innocent Blood. There'd be 1 less mana from Gabriel's side of the board, and then the days would take care of the Innocent Blood.
Oh, you're saying a Stifle on a fetch land or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, obviously at this point, Barrett doesn't know for sure what Gabriel's going to be going for, but he's going to daze the Wish. And we're going to see, all right, I'll pay for it.
Paid.
All right, Wish resolves. There's
Boom.
that Innocent Blood. Innocent Blood.
Blood you.
In his hand. Plays a
Lotus
Lotus
for
Petal.
safety.
He should know Barrett's hand, so it's not really any surprise that Barrett has only access to that Daze as the only counterspell. So, Innocent Blood resolves. Gabriel stabilizes for the moment at 4 life. Barrett plays Volcanic Island.
And passes. Oh, where's your Sylvan?
All right, Gabriel. Is Gabriel able to go off here? Is well, he's going to find out. All right, I'm going to duress you. Take a look. What's going on over there? All right, here. He's like, instead of laying it out on the table, I'm just going to hand it to you. Lay it on the table, guys. Lay it on the table. Have some camera presence. These guys know they're on camera, right?
I hope so. There we go.
All right, so we've got Stifle, Sylvan, Red Blast. Is that Forest? And
Ponder.
And yeah, that's right, Ponder he still had. Takes the ponder. Are you keeping track of it over there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Forest, Sylvan, finally. Hallelujah.
Sylvan Library or Sullivan Library.
That's where that name came from for the column.
I believe it. That is not a shock.
There's a Delver, a Cage, and a Pierce.
So
Necro Hut.
Did you say Necro Hut?
Yes.
Okay. That was awesome.
He only paid 4. That was an 8er if I ever saw one.
Yeah, I think I may have just gone for the 8. Well, yeah. So we're going to see Sylvan Library potentially win Garrett this game with some help of the top of Barrett's library. So Delver of Seekers comes down from Barrett. Grafdigger's Cage comes down.
What does that do?
Looks like we got ourselves a
you cannot
Rita.
play your cards from the graveyard.
Yeah, shuts off Green Sun Zenith.
It
Shuts off Flashback.
Shuts off Mind's Desire.
Yeah,
Not that there are Mind's Desires in this deck, but, you know.
it's a thing. It does. Yeah. I really love the flavor of Grafdigger's Cage.
Inquisition, what you got?
So we're going to find out again what's in Barrett's hand. Although we should pretty much know by now, right? If you don't know me by now.
It's Reb Pierce. Stifle, stifle.
Takes.
Oh, I'm so sad. Mind's Desire is an exile effect? I thought it flipped right from the... Oh, that makes me sad.
Okay.
Okay.
What about Temporal Aperture? Very similar to Mind's Desire.
Ponder. Ponder Shuffle. Now, Gabriel's deck does not have to win from a Past in Flames, but that is the most likely win for it. So that Grafdigger's Cage does represent a big threat.
All right, Gabriel passes back. Delver flips off the Pierce. Okay, it does indeed shut off Temporal Aperture. Just curious.
Go down to 1, Gabriel. Does Infernal Tutor cost you... No, never mind. It doesn't cost life. What's the life costing one? The $40 or $50 card. I can't remember its name. Grim Tutor?
Might be
Grim Tutor, yeah. No Grim Tutors in this deck, so we can still cast his stuff.
Gabriel looks like...
packs it up, packs it in.
Barrett takes the match 2-0. And Rug Delver shows its muscle against the Storm combo deck.
I mean, I figure what happened there. He played the Sylvan, that was it.
Yeah. It certainly helped him find the answers that he needed.
Back in the original Baron, Sylvan was a huge part of it.